For us, the storm has passed. The war is over. But let us never forget those who journeyed into the howling dark and did not return. For their decision required courage beyond measure.
Anyway. So the Democrats ended the shutdown. They're no longer holding this country hostage. And that is their hostage situation. People wanted it to be Trump's for some reason, but all that the Republicans wanted to do was vote to continue funding the government for a few more months and say, hey, we'll figure these other issues out later. I mean, granted, it's kicking the can down the road, but at least people get paid. It's about time this government shutdown ended anyway. So who were the Democrats that voted to end it? Well, some of them you may know, and some you may not. Dang it. Okay. All right. So the 8 senators that ended it. Senator Jean, I don't know, Shaheen of New Hampshire. Some of these are all from the Northeast. It's really weird. She settled for a pledge from Majority Leader of South Dakota, John Thune, to hold a vote in December on health subsidies. I think that is a pretty... Honestly, that's what we should have started with. But the Democrats did this to kind of draw attention to this. And as much as I'd love the Republican narrative that it's all about giving illegal immigrants health care, I mean, in theory, it's possible. I think they could game the system and get some. But it's such a small number that I just don't think this is what the Democrats' hill to die on is. What it really is by extending the tax credits, which they basically went from a 400% of the poverty line, which is, I think the poverty line is $15,650 for the federal poverty level in 2025 for a one-person household. That is, so basically if you make 4 times that or less, you had help. So that would be like $62,600. So if you made that or less, you got help. Now, well, that's kind of gone to an extent. They reduced the maximum amount purchasers would have to pay for coverage and enabled households with incomes higher than 400% poverty level to receive subsidies. So how much you get still is unclear. You probably have to go through the entire Obamacare system and type in everything about yourself and all your money and how much you earn, what you spend, I don't know, something like that. And you're going to have to figure out what they're going to give you. But at least now, if you make more than that, they're willing to at least talk to you and maybe give you something. I'm not one to say that the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare is a bad thing. I always thought that it was the best of both worlds. It's not a public healthcare system, but it's not quite private either. It's tax credits and help to buy private insurance, which I think blends the systems well. I think it's a fair compromise. And the only criticism I really have with it now, was the individual mandate to purchase it. So at the end of the year, if you didn't buy insurance, you had to pay tax, usually coming out of your rebate. I had to pay that tax a lot. I was not in the... I did not make enough to get help. I made too little to get help and not enough to be able to afford insurance myself. So I was in that weird middle area where I'm broke either way. I was a little less broke than I had to pay. I had to pay like $1,000 a year to not have insurance, which sucked. Until 2019, when Trump basically got rid of that. There's still some individual mandates statewide in certain states, but federally, there isn't one. And that really fixed any issues I had with it. I no longer cared about the Affordable Care Act and Obamacare after that was gone. It didn't affect me. It seemed to help people who couldn't afford it. Okay. I side with the Democrats on maybe there should be some form of a public system in place. It's just not feasible anymore. We can afford to send, billions to other countries, but we can't afford to, have health insurance. There's got to be something we can do. So, yeah, I know Republicans hate me for it. Democrats are like, well, you're not enough. I never am. Anyway, so the next senator who voted to keep going probably did the same thing. Senator Dick Durbin of Illinois. That poor guy. Had to have that name, didn't he? He's retiring. Retiring senators do all kinds of weird stuff. I'm surprised that anyone from Illinois would be that way at all, though. Let's see. It was not perfect, but it takes steps to reduce the shutdowns hurt. He's basically saying it's funding snap for the year ahead. Basically, these people are getting must be getting criticized by their constituents for not voting, and good on them for making good about it. Tim Kaine of Virginia, one of the last Democrats to join the group. This is all according to the Associated Press. He called the agreement a moratorium on mischief. Let's see. He claims it's because there's a deciding factor was language in the funding bill that prevents President Donald Trump's administration from conducting more mass layoffs, an issue that is particularly important for his state. No, he just wanted to go ahead and vote for it. Let's be honest. That's my thing. That's what I think. Senator Maggie Hassan of New Hampshire claims she did it for federal food aid. I don't really think any of these people did it a whole lot because of any of these issues. I think they realize that this is bad in general, and it's time to fix it. It's gone on too long. The Republicans are willing to negotiate, and that's enough. August King of Maine, he's an independent, but generally follows the Democrats. And let's see, what did he say here? He said after Republicans rejected a proposal from Schumer to extend the ACA tax credits for 1 year, King said it showed that the shutdown was not working. So basically, the hostage situation wasn't getting them what they wanted. I think he's wrong. I think that the shutdown did get them what they wanted. I think that the shutdown actually brought attention to these tax credits. I didn't know they were even in existence. If I don't know they're there, the general population probably doesn't know they're there. Now they do. I'm actually going to go check it out myself. Let's see here. Senator Jackie Rosen of Nevada. Let's see. Shutdown is worn on, refused to give in to Democrats' demands, blah, 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 blah. In a statement, Rosen said that Trump and fellow Republicans are weaponizing their power in alarming ways to inflict unimaginable pain and suffering on working people, like fully withholding SNAP benefits. Okay, but I'll be honest, I know people who were on SNAP, and let's just say they may not have needed it. But most likely she voted. It doesn't really say much. I think she voted for it so that air travel to her state would keep going. I mean, it's Nevada. The other senator from Nevada voted to reopen the government, travel. So basically, both these guys were united in saying that, hey, we got to do this. John Fetterman of Pennsylvania. I didn't like him at first. I still don't know what his plan is. He seems like a nice guy who just seems to try and do what's right. Poor guys in Congress. You eat them alive. But at least he saw, hey, look, we got to pay our military. And that's pretty much why he voted for it. At least he's quoted as saying, I'm sorry to our military, SNAP recipients, government workers, and Capitol Police who haven't been fully paid in weeks. Or been paid in weeks. And I believe he's been voting the entire time to reopen the government. I don't think he's ever, toted the party line. So, that's kind of interesting. You wouldn't think a Democrat would vote with Republicans so consistently, but this guy does. And he seems like he knows what he's doing. I think because he lives in a purple state, he kind of has to play both sides. I mean, you can do that for a while. Eventually, you're going to have to pick a side. Eventually, you're going to have to vote on something that separates you from your party. And this might be it. But at least he's not alone. So the Democrats can't, get rid of all these guys because that would ruin their party. So they have to tolerate this number of their own people leaving. 6 of them in the congressional side of things in the House also voted to reopen the government, while 2 Republicans didn't. At least it's passed. It's technically not passed yet. Trump has to actually sign it. I don't know why he wouldn't, but technically it has to be physically signed by him. And not an auto pen. But I think the Democrats were successful in one thing. They convinced most people that this is the Republican shutdown. I can't see how that's a logical thing, but they seem to think it is. Okay. Good luck with that. Yeah. Anyway, what do you guys think? Did you blame the Democrats or did you blame the Republicans? I blame the Democrats. I mean, it's like having somebody hold somebody hostage and saying that your failure to pay up the money is holding this person hostage. No, you're the guy doing it. I didn't do it. That's basically what the Democrats are trying to argue. And anybody who pays any real attention to this should know. But the fact is, most people don't pay any attention to this kind of thing. But I think that's also one of the reasons Democrats had to end it now. People were starting to turn their TVs on and go, what's going on here? Bill down the street hasn't been working for free for the last month. That's kind of weird. That's what I think. Anyway, leave me a comment below, and let's talk about it. Have a blessed day.